Welcome to the all-new sports show presented by Roger G. Taylor and Associates. I'm Edward Green. Of course, Wes Bradshaw will be joining me at the desk momentarily, just to the side over there. We have a big show for you today. Southwest Edgecombe versus North Edgecombe. We're going to be breaking that down where the Cougars got a big first win of the year. We'll also be putting in some calls to fill you in on the other games in our area. And if you're a Tarboro fan, you might want to look away for a few moments. Other than that, we also have a big Todd Gurley update. Gurley for Heisman, as well as 60 seconds of soccer. So stay tuned, we got a big show coming up for you today. Go Jack Horseman!
Dogs coming on a blitz, a nice pickup. Green gets rid of it and caught on the deflection. Put 6 on the board, Knight fans. That is a touchdown.
And it is caught by number 20, Malik Williams, and he breaks free. He's going. One man to beat. It's a touchdown.
Hi.
Good evening and welcome to the all-new sports show. It is season 3, episode 4.
5.
Huh?
Yeah, because we had 3 previews. We had last week to do it was our first week of high school football.
I'm on top of this.
5.
Look, some people call me the Space Cowboy.
Some call me the gangster of love.
Some people call me Maurice.
Because I speak of the pompatus of love.
And that's how we start the show this week, folks. We welcome you to the Palatial Studios here at the power plant.
Yeah, that's us.
In, we'll say the decent part of Hockey Mill.
Yeah.
Whatever you think at home, folks. But for realsies, I'm Wes Bradshaw.
I'm Edward Green. Hi. Hi.
Feverishly working behind the scenes, of course, the man with one name, Lee.
Yeah.
And
Producer Des.
Producer
Des has actually been a big help today. Thank you, Des, for not letting me go insane. I appreciate it thoroughly.
Exactly. When Ed needs somebody to talk to sometimes, he just has a nice long conversation with Producer Des and everything's okay.
It usually is. You know what? You're not wrong.
Luckily for you, Ed, Producer Des, who almost had a meltdown yesterday at halftime of that Ohio State Navy game.
Yeah. Whoa.
I don't think it helped when
he was talking to me a lot during that game.
I don't think it helped much when I sent him a text message that said "Anchors away, my boy," and then tried to email him enlistment papers for the Navy.
He didn't like that. He didn't appreciate that.
Well, he'll live. He'll live. They won. All right, folks, we welcome you to tonight's show.
Yes.
Big week of high school football. Kind of a weird week. Had some Thursday night games. Had some Friday night games. I want to say there was a Saturday night game even in there somewhere.
Sure.
College football is underway. Certain young man who calls the Nash, Edgecombe, Wilson County, Tri-County areas his home.
Yes.
Had a pretty good game on national television last night.
He's a little decent.
Half decent. He's a pretty good ball player. We're going to talk about him a little later. Folks, join us tonight. We have Jimmy Lewis of the Wilson Times going to be one of our call-in guests in a little bit. And making his all-new sports show debut will be Andrew Irvins of the Rocky Mount Telegram. We are going to have all of our normal cool stuff we do, including our still as of yet untitled play of the week.
Yeah.
Nobody called in this week, decided to sponsor it, so still no title.
We'll do it eventually.
And folks, the one thing I've been looking forward to since about 10:30 this morning, 60 seconds of soccer.
Yep.
Which today may be a full 55 seconds of Wes.
Yeah. No.
No, we'll just have to see how it goes.
Hey, we have Julian Green news.
Whatever works for you, Ed. Whatever calms your tummy after a tough day.
Yeah.
All right, folks. All right, Ed. This is the All New Sports Show brought to you each and every week by Roger G. Taylor and Associates. We have other sponsors as well. If you look at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, you just saw one a few seconds ago.
Oh, that's us there. I wasn't actually reading the screen anymore.
We sponsor ourselves.
You will find our other sponsors. Big thanks to all of those guys. Keep them in mind, folks. And when you need something here in the Nash, Edgecombe, Wilson County areas, go see those sponsors.
Right.
They're the guys who make it good for us. There.
Yeah.
There.
It's good stuff.
Good stuff. Real good stuff. Ed, also, along with our show, we do a lot of other things.
We do.
We get social on medias.
We do, including You can email us, as you see on the bottom, allnewsportshow@gmail.com. But there's many other ways, of course. Twitter, @allnewsportshow. We just had a few more likes the other day. Clay Medlin, apparently.
That's my buddy from Greenville.
Hey, he's following us now.
Hey, he sent me a text saying he needed Rocky Mountain scores. I said, go follow the All New Sports Show on Twitter.
He did. And he actually does now, so thank you, Clay. As well as our Telco Credit Union Player of the Game, who you'll be seeing coming up here in just a little bit.
Right.
He now follows us, so thanks to you. You can also get us on Facebook, facebook.com/allnewsportshow. All our videos are going to be there, including this show tonight, so you can actually watch it. You can also go to, of course, youtube.com/allnewsportshow. Instagram us, instagram.com/allnewsportshow. And 1701 Sunset Avenue, Suite 201, Rocky Mount, North Carolina, 27804. That is if you want to send your letters and your parcels. And finally, of course, go on to podbean.com, iTunes, or Stitcher Radio. Or if you go on our Facebook feed, it also shows you just the RSS feed so you can plug it into your podcast of choice. The All News Sports Show, the podcast, which I believe we're climbing towards 100 followers just on Podbean alone.
Yes.
Thank you.
I love the podcast. It's like the best part of my week.
We've also been getting requests for people to be interviewed on our show.
Oh, yeah. That was awesome. Can we please get that going so you can tell me about black helicopters and more government conspiracies in the world? Oh man,
great.
We should start doing more interviews on there though.
Yeah. Well, we do one every 10th episode.
Oh, okay.
We did one episode 1. We did one episode 11 where we had on our good friend who's no longer with us, Nick Petrovich.
Oh, I thought it was Ginger Baker.
Yeah.
Close enough.
Yeah, same thing.
Oh,
so we'll do one at episode 21.
Maybe we'll get Steve Miller.
Sure.
I know a guy named Steve Miller.
He's the best Steve we know.
Hey, there we go. All right, folks, let's jump right into tonight's big night for us.
Yes.
This past week, our high school football game of the week carried us on Thursday night to the tropical rainforest known as North Edgecombe.
Yeah.
In a night where literally after the blazing hot sun went down, that's when we really started to sweat, when the 104% humidity decided to set in.
Oh my God! There was literally steam coming off us. You'll get to see it if you haven't already seen the players.
It was 85 degrees outside, and there was steam coming off of us.
It was really bad.
It was crazy.
Cray. But thankfully we survived, and so did Southwest Edgecombe.
That's right.
I actually didn't even really get to talk about the last few minutes of that game because I was already downstairs.
Well, you had to go down the most dangerous ladder known to man to get there.
Very thin rungs.
Very thin rungs.
But at the end of the day, Southwest
Once every
Edgecombe
4
does
years.
come up with a 22-12 win over North Edgecombe. Their first win of the season. Granted, we are just 2/12 through this high school football season.
That reduces.
It does reduce to 1/6.
Ooh.
Very quickly reduces to 1/6.
Very quickly, very quickly.
But they had a good win, in theory, I would say.
Early in the season, any win's a good win.
Yeah, exactly. And there's obviously a lot of stuff that they still need to iron out. But I liked what I saw from some of the running backs.
Very much.
They just got to not put the ball on the ground, and they got to not have so many penalties. And basically the same thing applies to North Edgecombe.
Yeah, both teams have playmakers.
Yes.
And that's what I do like. Both teams have playmakers. Antoine Williams, Jacoby Bullock for North Edgecombe, Marcus Williams, Barry Smith, Devontrell Hyman. Hyman. And the young man Norwood, also for Southwest Edgecombe. I mean, they've got playmakers all over the field, and that did make the game very interesting. Very sloppy game.
Very sloppy.
It's like made me think I was at a Southern Nash game with all the penalties.
Oh.
No, Brian Foster will completely agree with us on that. So
probably.
there's no doubt that.
But there was a lot of good runs. Our play of the week was a great run by North Edgecombe's quarterback when he broke through for the opening score. There was a lot of big runs. Our player of the game, he had 2, 1 called back.
Yeah.
There was a lot of big plays, and that was really, at the end of the day, how a lot of the scores were made. It was just big plays, gashes through their defensive line. And Bob's your uncle, there it is.
Let's talk first about Southwest Edgecombe offensively. Once again, they showed the ability to make big plays.
Right.
Their problem was putting the ball on the ground.
Yep.
The center quarterback exchange had a lot of problems. 3 times they put the ball on the ground, lost it twice on that center quarterback exchange. Twice in North Edgecombe territory. Southwest really had the opportunity to run away with this football game and hide. and they didn't do it, Ed. And that is that's kind of a scary proposition for Jonathan Cobb going forward. You know, okay, we know we can play really well in spurts. We've got to learn how to play a full football game, though.
Yeah, I think one thing that obviously was hurting that was that I believe at the end of the game they were down to their third string center. They had actually shifted over a tight end to start playing center after their backup center who started the game got hurt.
There you go.
So that's obviously going to present some problems.
Excuse me, I was off. They actually fumbled 4 center quarterback exchanges and lost 3 of them.
Okay. Still not good.
No, it worse.
And that's, I think, what they need to work on. The defense was pretty good, especially considering I don't think they brought back any defensive linemen this season. So for game 2, I thought they actually acquitted themselves very well, especially against a guy like Antoine Pittman. I thought they really shut him down, but I also don't think that was Antoine Pittman's fault. I think that was, for the most part, he didn't have a lot of supporting help. Yes, Bullock had the big run out of the quarterback position for the first North Edge touchdown, but other than that, they could basically just key on him, and that's a reason why Bullock, on that play, which you'll see later, spoiler alert, he was able to run so easily, was he took the snap and just went.
Yeah.
So
and it was just one of those nights. You know, North Edgecombe, they were clearly overmatched. But that's how I think North Edgecombe's going to be just fine this season. Especially when they start playing those conference games and even some more of their non-conference games. They don't have a brutal non-conference schedule season. They're going to be fine. They're going to have a good season. Southwest Edgecombe, jury's out. Yeah, I picked them second in that conference after what Washington did to Tarboro the other night. I may have had them a little too high, but and as good as Benningfield's turned out to be so far. But I still think they're a good team. They could win a playoff game. They've got a few things they've got to get straight. But overall, I was impressed with Southwest Edgecombe. And you know who I was really impressed with?
who?
Our Telco Credit Union player of the game,
He was really
Marcus Williams.
Marcus Williams, who I hope is watching this, even though we told him it was going to be on TV. But you're still watching, so that's great. And you'll see it on Facebook.
We'll get into him somewhere. But we did have a chance to talk to Marcus after the game. Young man kept all those pads on in that brutal heat. I personally would have said, sorry, TV guys, I'm going to sit on a block of ice somewhere. But he did. He was gracious enough to spend a few minutes with us after the game. And Ed, now let's go back and visit the jungles of Southeast Asia for our Telco Credit Union Player Interview of the Week. This is Marcus Williams from Southwest Edgecombe. And folks, we welcome you to the field level here of Warrior Stadium, campus of North Edgecombe High School. We are with our Telco Credit Union Player of the Game, junior running back Marcus Williams of Southwest Edgecombe. Marcus, on the night, two official touchdowns, one really nice run that was called back. You know, Southwest, everyone in the world knows you guys are going to come in and run the ball. You spearheaded the attack tonight. Did you feel coming in you were going to have a big game?
Yes, sir. As long as my lineman block and I follow my blocks, everything goes right. Everybody execute, it goes right.
You guys had a few fumbles tonight. How were you able to overcome those and still put a real stranglehold on this game?
The fumbles, we just kept our head up, man. Just kept playing. Things happen, you just gotta keep playing. That's all you can do.
Marcus, week one, a tough loss to Southern Nash. Week two, you come out here. What was the mood like at practice this week? You guys coming off the tough loss, having to get ready to come play a rivalry game.
This practice was very serious. We became a family. We tried to fix little mistakes. We just learned from the first game and came out here and play.
Of course, you guys now 1-1. Have another game next week, but 2 weeks from now, function at the Junction. You guys traveling to Tarboro. Any thoughts looking ahead to that game a little bit?
Just focus on the next game. I know it's gonna be a very good game. My freshman year is basically the same people, and that was like a 14-8 game. So I'm expecting a very good game. As long as we capitalize on Tarboro mistakes and we minimum our mistakes, we'll be good. It'll be a good game.
You know, Wes, we had Deshaun Farmer here last week.
We did have
now we
Deshaun
got this
Farmer
guy.
here.
So we already got the Southwest Tarboro thing going on.
2 Edgecombe County running backs, 2 of the best of the Edgecombe County running backs. We've seen them back-to-back weeks, folks, in a couple of weeks. We'll be there to see them go head-to-head.
Absolutely.
Marcus, congratulations on a great win for you guys tonight. Congratulations on win number 1 on the season. And we look forward to seeing a big run this year by the Cougars.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, folks, we're going to head back to the studio where the humidity level is much lower.
Thank
and I've got
God.
the air conditioning absolutely blasting. Right back, more of the All New Sports Show. It's wonderful to be back from the Mekong Delta.
Tropic Thunder, it was not.
My tour with the Riverine team is over. That's always nice. I survived Vietnam, folks. All right. Marcus Williams. I wouldn't have. I'm a big target. Marcus Williams, like we said, he was special. He was a playmaker.
Yes.
And he's only going to get better.
Absolutely.
You know, and he to me, he just kind of has that it. You know, Jonathan Cobb told us about Marcus Williams last year during our preseason. He struggled with some injuries last year. Also, just kind of had that, I'm a sophomore playing varsity. It's still not the easiest thing in the world kind of deal. But really averaged over 10 yards a carry last year.
Yeah.
Had over 700 yards on only 75 carries, 10 touchdowns. I mean, this kid's a player.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, anywhere other than Southwest, he might be carrying the ball 15, 20 times a game easily. But at Southwest, they've got 3 or 4 guys who can go with it. They like to mix it up. He's a very good defensive back as well. I think he's a next-level kid. I think he's definitely one you're going to see playing Saturdays somewhere. Marcus Williams, he's a special one.
Yeah, Barry Smith also had a good game. He had 10 carries for 71 yards. So really between him and Williams, combining for 155 yards on 25 carries, that's really good. And when you can have that kind of double production from your backs, it's just really, really good. And I will also say Antoine Pittman, he was really, really good. From all the times we saw on him, still had 100 yards on 18 carries. Yeah. So still pretty darn good. Of course, Jacoby Bullock also had 127 yards on 7 carries, although 63 of those came in one big chunk. But I think you hit the nail on the head. I think North Edgecombe also has playmakers. I think they're going to be fine once they get in the conference. I just wish they could get some more numbers out there, because that could be a very, very strong team if they could just have not so many guys going 2 ways. We saw it for so many years with Northern Nash, the same thing happening to them. Man, it's like, if they could just get some more numbers, they could be really good, because they just seem to get tired at the end of games.
Yeah, but the difference in Northern Nash and North Edgecombe, North Edgecombe is a very small 1A. I mean, they're a small 1A school. I mean, there's really, I believe the last census I saw, they only had about 300 kids in the whole school. When you take into account that some of those are girls, they can't play football.
Back to your original point, though.
I mean, their biggest problem is they just don't have. Yeah. It's not, Northern Nash, we were always told there's all these athletes walking around in the halls. At North Edgecombe, they're not. I mean, basically everyone who can play is playing football. So basically, that's an attendance deal. That's something they've always dealt with. They dealt with it for. They dealt with it even when Raymond Cobb was winning state titles here. Right. They'd go and they'd have half as many kids as Inca or whoever they were playing from the West would bring with them. But, they found a way to get it done. One problem I had with North Edgecombe the other night, when some calls went against them, they had some guys who melted down.
Bad body language.
I hate meltdowns on the sideline. I can understand being upset and ticked off about a play, but you've got to let it go. You've got to let the play happen and then let the play go. Big firm believer in that. I've preached it as a baseball coach. Yep. It was preached to us growing up. Hey, it's over. Get the next play. I think that really hurt North Edgecombe the other night because they let too many setbacks continue on. The offside penalties when they were on defense, the silly offside penalties. Yes. After Southwest, we get that 5-yard first down. Then they turn around and get a big play because the North Edgecombe guys were still arguing with each other, or they were still, whining about the call or something. And, if you have a bad play, something happens, your teammates just pat you on the back, all right, let's hit them next play, and you go on. North Edgecombe had a problem doing that.
I think one big thing was I think they knew this was a winnable game for them.
Yeah.
They had it in their hands. If they don't commit as many penalties as they do, 13 penalties, just 78 yards, but when you consider almost every one of those penalties was an automatic first down in the end, that's brutal. And that's, I think, what contributes to that a lot is, if you make those kind of mistakes against Tarboro, well, maybe you don't totally expect to beat Tarboro. I think this North Edgecombe team could have beat Southwest if they just played smarter, and I think that's where that stems from. There's no excuse for that, though. There is absolutely no excuse, but I think that's what made it tougher on the kids to make those mistakes, was that they knew, hey, this is one we can get, and they let it slip away. But all credit to Southwest, though.
I agree with you. Southwest obviously still has work. Definitely work to be done at North Edgecombe. But, you know, the one thing that I like at Southwest right now, Ed, I really like the guy that got calling the shots.
Yeah.
Jonathan Cobb, he's young,
Talk about
he's
more.
energetic, but he's not one of those young, I'm going to scream at everybody as loud as I can.
Yeah.
You know, he's a guy, he's affable, you know, he's somebody you can talk to. Seems like a good guy. I have yet to play a down for him.
Yes.
And I'm quite sure at this point in my life I never will.
Probably.
I am out of high school eligibility, unfortunately. But
we got the chance to talk to him.
that's right.
He
We
was
did get a chance to talk to
us.
him. And he was, he was being told to hurry up and get on the bus and go home.
Absolutely.
But he did take a few minutes out to talk with us. Might not have made us very popular in the Cobb household, but anyway. So we did get a chance to talk to him. So now we're going to take you back out to Firebase X-Ray in the jungles of Southeast Asia for our Coach's Corner interview of the week here on the All New Sports Show with Southwest Edgecombe head coach Jonathan Cobb. And folks, we are back in the sauna known as Warrior Stadium tonight with victorious Southwest Edgecombe coach Jonathan Cobb. Coach, this is the West have ever been in a game where it did not rain.
Absolutely. I mean, we got out here this afternoon. It was burning up. We actually took our guys way back beside some shade trees about half a mile from the field here and did our warm-up.
Got a little bit of North Edgecombe again. 22-12. Coach, we talked to Jeff Craddock last week, and we said, Coach, hey, you got to win, but good for you. You still get a lot of stuff to yell at them about next week. With you guys tonight, you did get that win. It's good to get win number 1 of the season. But I know you got some work to do in practice now.
Absolutely. Early in the game, I thought we had a great first quarter until we started having trouble with the quarterback center exchange. We were driving in to score 3 times in this ball game and fumbled the snap, and they recovered the ball, and it really did not allow us to put North Edgecombe away and take control of the game like we should have. Now, that said, hats off to North Edgecombe. I mean, those kids play hard. They got some great players. They play with a lot of heart, and I'm just glad to get out of here tonight with a W, to be honest with you.
We'll talk about some of those great running backs. You had Williams and Hyman back there putting in some great work. Just talk about their contributions tonight and the overall offensive attack.
Well, I thought both Williams kids, Marcus and Keenan, Devon Terrell, and Barry Smith all did a great job running the ball tonight. I try to do things a little bit different tonight than I did last week. Last week I was using the fullback game to open up the outside, and I felt like I had to do that because Southern Nash had great team speed. Tonight I tried to do sort of the opposite, use the outside to open up the inside, and I really feel like it worked. We moved the ball all night at command. Just had those problems with the turnovers that kept us from showing it on the scoreboard.
Coach, coming off the loss to Southern Nash, your guys, they had to pick it up quick. When you look down the schedule, immediately, as any fan, as any player is apt to do, you start mentally in your head, win. When you look at North Edgecombe and Southwest Edgecombe, your immediate thought as a player, as a fan, is going to be, okay, we should beat North Edgecombe. This is a tough place to come play. You have been a part of some magic nights on this field. What did you tell the kids? Did you have to tell the kids much this week? That, guys, we've got to keep our head in this. You can't just roll that beautifully logoed SW helmet out on the field and win a football game.
Well, first of all, when you lose a game at Southwest Edgecombe like we lost last week, it's going to be a tough week the next week. That's just a given. And you're dealing with teenagers and a lot of young minds and hearts, and my job is, and what I attempted to do was reel those young minds and hearts in and make sure their hearts were open and they had courage and belief in our program. And then I also try to make them understand the history of really the last decade of Southwest North Edgecombe games. We've won, this is our 11th in a row. And so I was telling them we've won this game for a decade, but if you go back and look at the scores, every time they came to Southwest, it was a big win. Every time we came to North Edgecombe, we were lucky to get out. There's something about this field that's magic for those North Edgecombe players, and they're going to play hard here. And I think my kids understood that, and I think that's why we were able to come out here and do as well as we did early on, and so hopefully they'll continue to listen to that coach talk.
I don't know if I'm hot now from the message he just gave or from the oppressive humidity. Both are very nice right now. Coach, give us a little update on some of the guys that took a few knocks tonight. There were some guys that went down. Are there any updates you can provide?
I can. You know, last week we lost our starting center, Kevin Parker, to a ankle sprain. And we also had a right tackle with an ankle sprain. So we moved another kid who was the next guard to go in for us, Brady Overstreet, to center this week. He was doing a good job, and of course he's hurt his knee. It didn't look good. I'm not sure on the specifics just yet. Then we actually moved a kid named Cole Pierce from tight end to center tonight to finish out there at that position. And he did a great job. He had played some center for us last year, and even a little bit in the Jamboree with the second team. And you know, I thought he did a fantastic job stepping in there and filling.
Coach, we congratulate you on win number 1. I'm going to let you go home with the wife and the kids. They were saying it's time to go. It's quite wet out here. So we're going to let you go home. Coach, thank you so much for taking a few minutes out of your time to talk with us this evening. And next time we see you, oh yeah, function at the junction.
Oh, that's it. That's what that is.
it.
There you go.
Actually, it's only called a function at the junction when it's at Southwest. We've got to go to.
Y'all got T-shirts printed for that?
We do.
Oh, all right. Hey, that works for us. Our two favorite coaches, truly our two favorite coaches to talk to, you and Jeff Craddock.
Well,
we know we'll get to talk to somebody, so that's good for us.
I'd love to be the one to talk to you, but we got our work cut out for us.
Can't wait, man. It's going to be a great ball game.
All right.
Folks, head coach Jonathan Cobb, Southwest Edgecombe. We're going to go once again back to that nice, dry, air-conditioned studio. Where
Never
I can
too
just,
cool.
I can just relax, take me a nice swig of water,
It's just refreshing.
and we'll continue with more of the all-new sports show.
It's just refreshing.
Whoa,
Yikes.
that was rough.
It was rough.
Big thanks to Jonathan Cobb for
Yes.
spending a few more minutes with
Thank
us.
you.
Luckily, no one needed showers when they got home. They just took bars of soap and started lathering up outside. Once again, final score 22-12, Southwest Edgecombe knocking off the North Edgecombe Warriors. That was an Edgecombe County rivalry game, man. Isn't that awesome?
And we'll see another one in a couple
I
weeks.
love it. We sure will. All right, folks,
For now.
that is going to take us away from our high school football game of the week from Friday night. And now we are going to transition over, folks. It was a big weekend in Wilson County. And, folks, joining us now from the Wilson Times is sports reporter Jimmy Lewis. Jimmy, what's up?
What's up, Wes? How you doing, man?
Man, I am here. It is cool. I'm not having to stand outside in that extreme humidity. My wife is at the beach, which means I get to lay on the couch in my underwear. Life is good, man.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Mental
Yes. 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 You love it, America. All right, Jimmy, let's get right down to business, man. We have a busy Sunday night going. Beddingfield.
Yes.
As you call them, the Big Play Bruins. Man, this was a put-up or shut-up kind of game for Beddingfield. Last year, they went to Southern Nash, lost a heartbreaker. This year, they were out for revenge, and they got a little bit of it. A 19-7 win from Beddingfield. And I think Beddingfield has, they're throwing it out there. They're like, hey, we're a force to be reckoned with this year.
Certainly so, and that was Beddingfield's first win over Southern Nash since 2008, I believe. I mean, Beddingfield came out there, and really the defense set the tone for this ball game. Southern Nash is going to come out there in the double wing and try to run it right down your throat, but you've got to give the Beddingfield defensive coaches, led by defensive coordinator James Ward, a heck of a lot of credit for coming out and devising a scheme to stop that run game, because against Southwest Edgecombe, Southern Nash sent a fleet of backs at that defense with some success, and the Beddingfield defense, led by Koye Farmer with 12 tackles, 4 for loss, Carlos Burks, Angelo Jones, among others. They were definitely big, and they were in the Southern Nash backfield, and they made life very difficult for Zach Foster and his mates.
You know, Jimmy, talking about this UCLA win, I mean this Beddingfield win.
Yeah, definitely.
One thing that does kind of jump out at me, and I've loved everything I've seen from Beddingfield so far this year. I love a lot of the guys they have, but I see some of the numbers from Southern Nash, the two big ones, 7 fumbles, 5 of those lost, and then 10 penalties for 80 yards.
I know this is a big win for Bedingfield, sorry, but did they get the best Southern Nash could give them on this night?
You know, I really don't think so. Anytime Southern Nash would get any semblance of an offensive drive going, they would put the ball on the ground. I mean, their only pass completion went for 44 yards on the night, and at the end of that 44-yard catch and run, a fumble was involved that went back to Bedingfield. So it was just that kind of night. If you were Brian Foster and Southern Nash. But if you look at the stat line, Bedingfield didn't put the ball on the deck, did not turn the ball over. Bedingfield basically in the turnover department played a perfect football game, and Southern Nash laid on the ground 7 times and lost 5 of them. And as you said, they were flagged 10 times for 80 yards. I certainly want to give all the credit in the world to Bedingfield, but I wonder what would have been if Southern had not put a couple more balls on the deck.
That's terrible.
Kavaji Ellis. I've gone out on a limb. I've said that I believe he is the best quarterback in the Nash, Edgecombe, Wilson County area. How did he play in this game? He was phenomenal a year ago against Southern Nash. Lost his number 1 weapon earlier in the game, and Javius Nixon. How did Kavaji Ellis look?
Well, he didn't start off particularly well. I mean, at the outset, the timing was off between Kavaje and his receivers. They were running the wrong way. I think Kavaje misfired on about 3 or 4 passes to begin the game, and he finished the game 4-13 for 56 yards. But you have to give Kavaje credit on the game's defining drive. He made enough plays to win the ball game, and that's really all you can ask of any quarterback. There was a third and 10 situation on the clinching drive, and Kavaje rolled out to his left, couldn't find anybody, so he made his way all the way back across the field to his right, picked up a couple key blocks, 18 big yards, first down, and later on, DeMonte Cherry gets the clinching score with a 17-yard run with 15 seconds left to put that game away. So Kavaje wasn't at his best, but he did just enough, and you're not going to be at your best all the time, and he found a way to get it done, so you got to give the kid credit.
Big win for him. Now the injury to Javius Nixon. We talked about it a little bit off air. Why don't you let the folks at home know, what we do know, or more correctly, what we don't really know.
Well, what we know right now is that it is a knee injury. It was sustained at the end of the first half against Greene Central. He is scheduled for an MRI. We don't know the results of that yet. So, to the best of my knowledge, he's still out indefinitely. And when I say indefinitely, that's not necessarily something that will extend for the rest of the season, but it is certainly a week-to-week thing right now with Javius. I would call it indefinitely, but I'm not ready to call it season-ending.
All right, well, something we'll definitely have to keep a look on, one of the best playmakers in the area. Jimmy, moving on over now, let's take a look. A bounce-back week for the Hunt Warriors. Losing in week 1, well, sometimes after that you just need to hit the road and go get a different environment around you. Hunt heads up to Ahoskie, or as our good friend of the show, Braxton Hill, would call it God's country, because there are no lights out there. It's just a dark trip all the way there and back. They go up there, and Hunt does exactly what they need to. They get a big 42-13 win over what is, traditionally been a good Hertford County team. How big a win is this early in the year for Hunt?
Oh, it's definitely big after losing their opening game last week to South Central. And we can't forget that they lost at home to Hertford County last year, and that was the big how in the world did that happen game for Hunt. So just being able to go on the road. They had a slow start in this game, but they were really able to come out and just dominate the second half in the way that you've come to expect from the Hunt Warriors in their march to a consecutive Eastern Finals. I think Anthony Gaetano, he started the deluge with a big touchback there to begin the second half, and Hunt really poured it on from there, outscoring Hertford 28-0 in the second half after taking a 14-13 lead into the half. 248 yards rushing. That's Stevie Hennett football. Line up in the power eye, run it right at you. He's got to be happy to see those numbers this week.
Jimmy, the Hammer was at this game. Good old Tom Ham. I know you weren't there. What's his email address? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Woo!
It's right here.
It's just Hammer, not the Hammer.
So I'm calling him the Hammer. You can have that one, Tom. That one's for you. That one's free. But Jimmy, Hunt, like you said, they lost to Hertford last year, and now they go to the locker room only up a point. Do you think there was a sense of deja vu there, and then, now we're just going to score 28 points in the second half?
Yeah, there very well could have been a sense of deja vu, but at some point, I mean, just the winning tradition there at Hunt, I mean, it was kind of up in the air there. I mean, you're 0-1, you're up 14-13 at the half on the road, and that was probably a time where it's just time to circle the wagons and get back into it and start playing the Hunt football that their fans and quite frankly that Wilson County has been used to seeing.
Certainly.
All right, let's take a look now. Let's go to what are officially this season, we're calling them the big dogs of Wilson County.
Sure.
They are number one with a bullet on the unofficial all-new sports show Power Poll. Let's take a look at the Fight Golden Demons. They played at home on Thursday night against a completely overmatched Roanoke Rapids Yellow Jackets, and they knocked them off 41-7. The big story of the night: 335 yards rushing for Fike, another 125 through the air for DJ Daniels. Kind of just business as usual for Fike.
Yeah, Hunt might have something to say about Fike being the big dogs, the Big East this year, but I mean, I'm with you so far. I mean,
you know me, I'm always trying to stir up controversy. So.
Yeah, there you go. But I'm with you so far. I mean, 335 yards rushing, like you said, led by A.J. Hines, 50-yard run, 32-yard run. Rocky Mount completely overmatched in this football game. And if you guys remember from last week, there were maybe some offensive issues that had to be ironed out in the lead-up to this game that were brought over from the Bun game. But any issues that Fike may have had offensively, I think, were answered resoundingly this week against Roanoke Rapids, and we'll just have to see how they develop going forward.
Yeah, and Jimmy, you talked earlier about Bedingfield playing a perfect turnover game. So did Fike. No interceptions, no fumbles on the night, and just 5 penalties. Is this the closest we've seen in a while to just a complete team? Like that they can just do it all, and how do you attack something like that?
I really think so, and here's the thing. Going into this season, Fike's big concern was how are they going to replace key losses on both sides of the ball, and if this game is any indication, they are beginning to pass that test with flying colors. I mean, the defense, I saw them in a scrimmage over at CBA Cock, which is aptly titled the Fike Jamboree, but that's a long, winding story. But at any rate, Fike's offense goes for 460 yards combined. The defense has really been there since the scrimmage at ACOC. You saw what they did to Bun when the offense was sputtering. They will be tested. They'll have nights where they won't be at their best. But right now, I mean, they're my pick to win the Big East right now. Again, Hunt will have something to say about that as defending champions several years running. But again, I'm with you guys. Fike looks like a complete football team at this point.
3 big road games real quick coming up next week for the Wilson County teams. So what are you guys going to do? You have no home games, Jimmy. Looks like Fike going to be heading to Kinston, who's coming off a big win over Nash Central. Hunt going to New Hanover. Have fun with that one. And Bedingfield heading down to Pinecrest, who at this point are undefeated. Man, that's going to be 3 pretty stiff tests next week for the Big East. Or just for Wilson County, we'll say.
Yeah, tough assignments all. Bedingfield having to go to Southern Pines, Pinecrest. I just worry about Bedingfield's depth in that game, going down there to face Pinecrest and the depth they have as a 4A school. I think Bedingfield has the athletes to match up with them for a spell, but when that second half hits, will they be able to stay with them? And
especially without Nixon.
Yep, obviously without Nixon. And then Hunt and New Hanover. I mean, New Hanover, they just continue to churn out athletes. Down here last year, Hunt didn't have Dexter Wright, but New Hanover was able to come down here and beat Hunt fairly handily. Kinston, I've heard good things about their defense. Their offense is kind of up in the air right now. But if you remember last year's game between Fike and Kinston, Fike got out to a big lead, and Kinston stormed back, and Fike had to hold them off there at the end. So going on the road to Lenoir County, where Lenoir County, they're kind of hit or miss with their football. So we'll see what happens.
All right. Well, man, we're looking forward to another big week. And Jimmy, we hope to be able to talk to you again soon. Say hello to the now, I guess the now Kristen. He's kind of becoming, a cult legend figure here in Rocky Mountain. That's Paul Durham. Tell him hello.
All right, I sure will.
All right, Jimmy. We'll talk to you later, buddy. Be good.
Thanks,
All
Jimmy.
right, thanks, man. Bye.
All right.
Jimmy Lewis, Wilson Times, the cult figure, Paul Durham. He wants his own show.
And he said yes.
And Clint said yes.
Thanks, Clint.
Thanks, Clint. All right, folks, we're going to take a quick time out. When we come back, the most exciting minute of everyone's week, especially mine because it was a good week. Then coming up, folks, the all-new sports show debut of Andrew Irvins. Folks, I'm nothing if not a constant.
I don't think that's his last name.
Well, that's what you sent me earlier. Oh, well, there's an R in what you sent me earlier. Okay.
It's fine.
Well, he's not watching right now because we're not live.
No,
so
he's
whatever
not.
works.
And he'll probably never see this, so it's
I
fine.
have plenty of time to change this.
Yeah.
He will be, whatever his name is, I'm going to figure it out. He's going to make his all-new sports show
Andrew.
debut. Andrew's going to make his all-new sports show debut. Folks, real quick, this is the all-new sports show brought to you each and every week by Roger G. Taylor and Associates. We'll be right back with more here on WHIG. You just want to say it?
TV.
That's it.
Let's go to break.
The new place is perfect, or at least it will be, with a little help from Dex. In the book or at DexKnows.com. Dex can help you get results fast and deliver the best local advice so you can get it done right here, right now.
We should do this more often.
Dex, results for the here and now.
Good day, Eastern Carolina. It's Mike Keffer at Mike Keffer on the 301 bypass between Rocky Mount and Wilson. How do you roll? The summer clearance event continues on all new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram trucks. As part of the Keffer Automotive Group, we offer dealer group volume pricing without driving to the big city. Large selection, easy purchase experience, extended service hours, and fast oil changes are a few of the reasons to shop in Rocky Mount. Call 855-BUY-KEFFER or shop online 24/7 at MikeKeffer.com.
Hi.
Welcome back to the all-new sports show, everyone, brought to you each and every week by Roger G. Taylor and Associates.
Yes.
Ed,
Yeah,
it's time.
it is.
It's time for the most exciting minute of your week, America. It's time for 60 seconds of soccer.
The team who came back from the dead.
All right, folks, that explosion just gets me every time. It always scares me. I think something's happening. It's crazy. All right, Ed, minute on the clock.
Yes, go.
No, Ed, I'm going to let you go first.
Okay, so here's the thing, kids. If you're bigger and you're stronger than everyone else, and you feel a tug on your jersey, it doesn't matter if you can maintain your balance. You should just fall down.
It was Joe Allen.
Just remember, it was also Manuel Adebayor.
He's not bigger and stronger.
Emmanuel Adebayor.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he is. That was his fault. Thanks, Addy. Thanks for just not falling down like Joe Allen. So.
That's right. Joe Allen fell down, led to Stevie G's record 43rd
Yeah.
Liverpool goal from the spot.
Too bad Balotelli doesn't take the penalties.
Also extended his scoring streak to 16 consecutive seasons. That's right, Ed. The greatest English player who's ever lived.
Never won a
Which is
title.
kind of like being the tallest midget in the room. Steven Gerrard leading Liverpool to a 3-0 victory today over Ed's beloved Tottenham Hotspur. But Ed, take heart. That means the last 3 matches it's gone from 5-0 to 4-0 to 3-0. Ed, by 2016, you guys may be drawing a match with us. You never know.
Bring it, Besiktas.
Bring it, Besiktas. Folks, joining us this week from the Rocky Mountain Telegram, Andrew Ivins, one of our newest Telegram correspondents. Folks, Andrew happens to be a fan of the beautiful game, which Ed and I told Jesse Nunnery that he had to hire at least one person who likes soccer because it couldn't just be the two of us.
We had to replace Nick Petrovich.
Somebody had to break the ties. So, Andrew Ivins, we're going to introduce you on your debut. We're going to give you 30 seconds of soccer to go wherever you want with it, Andrew Ivins. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Take the ball and, well, I was going to say run, but actually just kick it.
Go.
Well, you guys have talked about the Premier League. What I want to talk about is the U.S. national team.
Yes.
They have a game coming up on Wednesday, I believe.
Yeah.
Czech Republic, and I think the common soccer fan out there is not recognizing some of the names, but I am, and I know you guys should be. I'm excited. A lot of youth out there, so that's where I'm going to go with it.
Thank you, Andrew. Just to let everybody know out there,
you get 30 extra
Shut
seconds.
up. And who's your Premier League team, Andrew?
Oh, I'm a Spurs fan. I will admit this morning I was not up. It was a long weekend, had a few high school football games, and I was at NC State yesterday.
Yes.
Thankfully, I was not up to witness that, but I was in a little predicament. I had a couple Liverpool players on my fantasy team, so.
Also, one thing we should let you know, Wes Bradshaw, not only is he a Liverpool fan.
Not only am I a Liverpool fan, I'm an England fan because I love loathing and self-hate.
So when you talk about all this great USMNT stuff, you should just know he's about to pass out.
After the Red Sox broke through in 2004, I had to find someone else to make me miserable.
Yeah.
And here we go.
Yeah.
Go England, now under the leadership of Wayne Rooney.
Yes.
I'm going to go home and cut myself later, America. All right, that's enough of the football.
Yes.
Let's get back to the football. Andrew, you have now been here for 2 weeks of high-powered high school football action. Looks like you made your way out to Northern Nash on Friday night to see the Knights take on Northeastern. Let's start there. Not a great night for Northern Nash.
It wasn't. It was actually on Thursday. I think they ran into a good Elizabeth City Northeastern team, but Randy Raper, he's really been for a while kind of, the theme has been, we got to play from the start, all 4 quarters, and it got to a point where it looked like in the second half they were going to kind of turn things around and get back in the game, but there was just too much. I don't want to say damage, but they got behind early, and there was really no coming back from it. Quan Whitaker, the running back there, really liked the stuff from him, but he didn't really get many touches till the late in the first quarter, and that's when he broke a 40-yard run. But when you're down 21-0, you can't be handing the ball off, and with Randy Raper's offense at Northern Nash, it's simply, they're going to run the ball, they can't really throw it. So for the second straight week, they found themselves trailing. This time they couldn't even build the comeback. Now they're at 1. Now they're 1-1.
Northern, the way that schedule kind of works for them, they have some winnable games. They have some games that are going to be much tougher for them. Coming up for the Knights, I still expect to see improvement. I still expect to see wins. So that kind of, for Northern, take it what it was. As Ed said earlier, look up, Northern fans. It wasn't as bad as last year.
No, it really wasn't. It wasn't even close to that bad. And hey, they started last year with a loss. They started this year with a win.
There you go. So already they're doing a little better.
Yes.
And Randy Raper. How dare he say Randy? Of course, Randy Raper's going to run the football. Jesus, Randy Raper.
Andrew,
speaking of a team who
yeah.
We had a good game.
Yeah, with the curb stomp. This time for one of our teams, Rocky Mount, of course, getting a big 51-7 win
Capstone.
over Oxford Webb. That's the season-long arc. A big win, of course, for the Griffons as they go to 2-0 under head coach Jason Battle. What can you tell us about that one?
Well, you guys have mentioned I've been here for 2 weeks. Caught a lot of, Rocky Mount practices in the preseason. I still think that they might be the top team in the Twin Counties. Spoke to Coach Jason Battle on Saturday just about their win. And he's fired up, and he's not even talking about offense or defense. They've outscored opponents, I believe, 85-7. I don't have my notes in front of me, but yeah, 85-7 in 2 games. And he told me his most impressive unit, and what I wrote about today in the paper, was the special teams. For Sean Harris, he's a great guy. Someone I think that should be getting some college looks, but he's not. But like I said, I think this team's good. And in 2 weeks, they're going to have their first real test of it, I think, against Greenville Rose.
Yeah.
Always one of those benchmark games, and kind of like you're saying, we will see at that point, is Rocky Mount for real? Are they good? Are they pretty good? Are they a paper tiger at that point? Rose is one of those teams that they always they tell the tale. Let's wrap up our Big East Nash County teams. And now let's talk about Nash Central. Why not? Nash Central played Kinston. We mentioned a little earlier with Jimmy Lewis from Wilson. Kinston, a 41-12 victory. Now the Bulldogs losing streak up to 17 games. And Andrew, Nash Central still having problems scoring the football, but now suddenly that defense seems to have taken a turn for the worst.
Yeah, and I think it's only going to get worse. That streak's only going to grow. You look at the schedule; it's not favorable in the coming weeks. And just on offense, I saw the Nash Central 2 weeks ago against Tarboro, and it's just there's no identity. Talked to Coach Crew about it. They rotate packages, and the big thing is for me is you guys all know that Nash Central has Hushan Gaines, arguably the top player in the Twin Counties. I mean, he is, and he's one of the top defensive linemen in the state. And he doesn't get any reps on offense. And I think at the high school level, you play your best players where you can, especially if you're a team that hasn't won a game in almost 2 years. So, I joked in the preseason, I'm like, hey, are we ever going to see, Hushan take a snap and run up the middle, as a Wildcat? And Crudup looked at me like I was crazy. But 2 weeks into the season, I think he's going to have to start, looking for some ideas. They've managed just 18 points, so they're going to have to score. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, speaking about a team that might need to find a little invention after this past week, another game you did, Washington 42, Tarboro 7, the worst defeat in about 8 years for Tarboro. You were there at the damage site. What can you report for us?
Just so you guys, I come from South Florida. All I've heard was how great Tarboro was, so I guess it's not as shocking to me. But just the magnitude of that loss, I try to put it into words, but they just did not look like the better team at all. The offense struggled heavily. Had 19 yards in the first half. Do I think Washington's a better team? Yeah. Do I think Washington's a team that's going to make a playoff run? Probably. But I think Tarboro's going to have some struggles this season. I thought that for a while, and I confirmed it. But yeah, it just all around was not a good night. And Coach Craddock said, they're not going to change the offense or anything like that. And I don't think they can. So
they haven't in about 35 years. So.
Exactly.
Every attempt to has failed miserably.
Yeah, they did go to the spread for about 2 years back in the mid-2000s. I don't think they won more than 3 games in a year. So that offense is here to stay. That's not going anywhere.
Well, they had the spread for, I think, a series, and I think they got a first down. I can't remember. I have to go back into my notes. But, yeah, they ditched that quickly after Deshaun Farmer fumbled the snap. So we'll see what happens there.
2005. With Tarboro, I guess I'm always the eternal Tarboro optimist. I think Tarboro's going to be just fine. Mainly, it comes down to their schedule. once they get into that conference, they're not going to be touched. And then, of course, depending on their draw in the 1A playoffs, they're not going to be touched for a while.
Yeah.
Everything that I had heard, now you saw them up close, Andrew. Washington was a team that last year was very good. And this year, you know, they already played Havelock, who could consensus be one of the top teams in the state. They're the number 1 3A team in the state, 3-time defending state champs. They played them tough. I personally find it as just kind of one of those nights. That's what I'm going to chalk it up to. I'm really interested the next couple weeks, some big ones at Northern Nash, home against Southwest Edgecombe. I think that's going to tell a nice tale about this Tarboro season coming up.
Well, yeah, I mean, I want to add in there is, you know, if you were going to get blown out by anyone, Washington was the best team. They schedule that game because Craddock is so familiar with the opposing coach. I mean, that they have a film session afterwards and kind of break it down. Okay, what worked for you? What didn't work for me? So, you know, it's not like you went out and lost to someone that they're not going to get a benefit from. They got film. They know where to improve, and you just move on. So, weather the storm.
And by the way, real quick, 2005 they ran the spread 3-8. Back to the T, 5 state title appearances. All right, moving on. And who do we have next to talk about?
I think we only got 2 games left for our area.
There we go.
Rocky Mount Prep, unfortunately, could not capitalize on their first win of the year. They lose 45-16 because they didn't play Kip Pride.
Oh, my beloved Kip Pride.
45-16, they lose to Granville Central. And when you hear quotes like from their head coach, mentally we were not prepared, doesn't bode well for Prep.
It doesn't. It doesn't. You know, we'll see where it goes. You know, it's still a young program. Yeah, but when the head coach is saying, you know, we weren't mentally prepared, it comes down to the coaching. So we'll see what moves on. I think the schedule kind of frees itself up, but there's no reason they shouldn't end, you know, close out with another win. But, you know, I don't think it's going to be any type of playoff bid, at least not this year.
They do get Kip Pride again. Go Kip Pride! And Kip Pride, you never know, they might actually forfeit that game.
Who knows?
Because they seem to enjoy doing that at least once or twice a year.
We don't do good numbers in Kip Pride.
I am such a big Kip Pride homer. It is not funny. And, well, they do play Word of God Christian coming up, who this is their first year having an 11-man team, so that could be a plus. And then, then that brutal trip to Kip Pride. Now, speaking of 8-man football, since we just talked about it, segue, and I'm not talking about the one I ride.
No, they're spelled differently.
Rocky Mount Academy opens their state title defense with a shutout of Halifax Academy, 29-0. And, folks, while you're sitting there saying, God, they only scored 29 points, folks, they pitched a shutout in an 8-man football game.
Yeah.
Do you realize how much space there is to run in an 8-man football game? If you don't, watch the high school game of the week next week because we're going to show you how much space there is. Andrew, I know you are new, probably haven't seen Rocky Mount Academy much. What can you give us on that win, though?
You know, 8-man football is a little foreign to me. When I came here, you know, like I said, I was from South Florida. It's all 11-man there. I just thought, you know, the 8-man and 9-man football was out in the Midwest. But I was at Rocky Mount Academy in the preseason. I really, you know, like the stuff, you know. They're talking to some of the players. They were nervous. You know, they have a target on their backs now. But to go out and post a shutout like you guys said, that's big. Really like Carter, the running back, Jacob Carter. Or Hunter, Jacob Hunter. I'm sorry.
That's it.
Really like his stuff on both sides of the ball. I think he, you know, for an 8-man football player, he you know, he has a chance to play in college at defensive back. But you know, defending state champs, you want to come out and you know, make a statement. I think, you know, putting his year up there does that.
All right, Ed. Well, I think that kind of takes care of everything this week.
Well done.
Andrew,
good job, Andrew, on your first show.
Andrew Ivins making his debut.
Yeah.
The debutante Andrew Ivins coming on to the show.
You got your first cap. Congratulations.
And you even hit a better header today than Balotelli did, so that helps. Could have been 4, maybe 5. Just throw that out there for you guys, since I did watch.
We did miss one in the first half.
Yes, directly into the arms of the beautiful Simone Mignolet. Yeah. All right, you Spurs.
Kind of blew.
All right, you Spurs. Yeah, you did kind of blow. Anyway, that will do it.
Man City joke.
Andrew
Wanna talk
Robbins.
about that game?
Okay, can we finish this up? Andrew Robbins is ready to go. Probably drink a beer and
I'm
watch football
grumpy
somewhere.
today.
You should be, grumpy cat. Andrew Robbins, thank you so much. We will talk to you very soon in the future and look forward to a long, fruitful relationship with you, our friend.
All right, guys. We'll talk to you later, all right?
Thanks,
Talk to you later,
Andrew.
buddy.
Appreciate it.
All right, bye.
Self-alarm. I had to tell him that I threw up the U.
Yeah.
Because I'm all about the U. Who opens against Louisville tomorrow night?
Or
On
depending on
whatever
not
night.
to date this television show.
Whatever night you're watching this. Monday night, let's put it this way, we don't know yet how bad Miami lost. Might have beaten Louisville.
Yeah.
Very
in the blackout
I'm
at
very
the, Papa
optimistic.
John's Stadium.
Real quick, little fun fact about that. Do you remember the movie Friday?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Mostly.
Do you remember Felicia?
Yeah.
That is Brad Kaya, freshman quarterback at Miami, starting quarterback. That's his mom. His mom played Felicia in Friday. How awesome is that? I'm just waiting for all the Debo
I
references.
feel like you just lost our entire demographic.
Me and the wife watched Friday at the beach yesterday.
Good
We
stuff.
were so cool with that.
Hi, Felicia.
Felicia. All right, Ed, let's take a quick look at next week's game. Let's preview. I'll take care of these 1As since they're the only ones I've got. At the
Sure, I'll do
moment,
the
Ed.
rest.
All right, North Edgecombe heading to Princeton this week in what will be a battle of two of the best running backs in Eastern North Carolina, including one of the best in the country, current Florida State commitment, Johnny Football, Johnny Rockets, Johnny Frazier down at Princeton. He is one of the hottest prospects in America, and he's going to go up against kind of the diamond in the rough, Antoine Pittman. Could be, really now, Ed, for a guy like Antoine Pittman, a guy like the quarterback, Jacoby.
Boyd, I think you're getting at is the fact that people are going to go see Princeton's running back.
Yeah.
Oh, who's this guy, Antoine Pittman guy? I like what I see. Let's scout him some too.
And Jacoby Bullock. I keep wanting to call him Jacoby Brissett because of the NC State game yesterday. Jacoby Bullock. Those I told you those two guys. They are playmakers. You're going to get some people who are going to be there to see Johnny Frazier, and those guys might get a nice rub from being in that game with him. So if Pittman and Bullock can go and have good games, and maybe even Traquaine Harris. Folks, could see something happen with those guys. That's going to be a big game for them. Big game for North Edgecombe. Rocky Mount Prep, they are going to take on Lewisburg this week. That game will be at the Rocky Mount Athletic Complex. Lewisburg head coach Chris Lee, a former longtime BW Holt assistant. So, and Ed, something I wanted to add on that Granville Central game last week. For the second week in a row, a former Rocky Mount coach comes back to coach there. Granville Central's coach, John Hammett, former head coach at Rocky Mount before BW Holt arrived, and coached a Husky senior with a bad ankle his senior year, Wes Bradshaw. So John Hammett made his return victoriously the other night. And to top it off, for this, Tarboro heading to Northern Nash in a game that if we weren't going to see Rocky Mount Academy play, I would love to see that Tarboro Northern Nash game. That would be a great
It's going to be very interesting.
What you got?
Going to the Eastern Plains 2A. Bettingfield taking the road to Pinecrest, as we mentioned earlier, coming off two big wins to open the season. This is going to be a true litmus test for them and could be a very tough matchup. We'll see if they can hang with them and until their depth maybe gives out a little bit towards the end. Hopefully they can stay with them for a long time. Southwest Edgecombe, they're at Green Central this week, hoping to build off their first win of
Winnable
the
game,
season.
very winnable game.
Absolutely. And Big East 3A, Fike will be heading to Kinston. Kinston just played Nash Central and handled them pretty well. I think they're going to get a little different test against Fike. Hunt is going to New Hanover. Very interesting matchup again, back-to-back road games for Hunt. Nash Central, J.H. Rose, or Greenville Rose, as they're sometimes called.
So, all right.
Nothing more to say about that. Again, Northern Nash will be hosting Tarboro. Rocky Mount.
Hertford County?
No. Who's Rocky Mount? You've been saying it literally like all show.
You mean the capstone?
Thank you.
Oh, I didn't know what you were setting me up for there. You're like Rocky Mountain. I'm like, we're playing Hertford County this week? Yeah, is that what you wanted? Yay, nay, maybe? Okay.
Telepathy. We finish each other's sandwiches. Hertford County is be hosted by Rocky Mount. Southern Nash taking the trip to Bunn should be able to get a win there.
That'll be interesting. I think Bunn's actually supposed to be pretty good this year. Week 1, 28-0 against Fike. don't think you really hold that against them. I think that could be a war for Southern Nash. Southern has kind of a, everybody looks at the Nash Central schedule and they're like, oh, it's so brutal, it's so brutal. I think Southern has a sneaky brutal schedule, actually. Just maybe not some of the big names that you're seeing from everybody else. They don't play Rose. Go figure. All right, folks, that is your preview of next week's games. And of course, the one that we didn't mention, where we're heading this week.
Yes, Rocky Mount Academy hosting Hobgood Academy. And we will be there for some fantastic 8-man football. It's going to be glorious.
The best part, and my favorite part about going to Rocky Mount Academy, where they set us up, I don't have to walk all the way around to the bathrooms because the woods are right behind me.
Yeah.
So I can just go when it's time.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Well, all right, so that's where we'll be next week. All right, Ed.
But let's go back to past games and see how our picks did this week.
That's right, folks. It is time for the Crystal Clear Pepsi 6-pack results.
Yummy.
Yummy Crystal Clear Pepsi. That's right, folks. If I win this year, I will buy and drink a 20-year-old Crystal Clear Pepsi.
All right.
On the air.
All right. Let's go to those picks real quick. If we are able to, on the full screenness, if we can. Go on the full screen. It's good. It's good. We're good. Clint won the week. I'll go ahead and spoil it. Clint won the week. So there you go. Clint won the week. You didn't. I didn't.
I haven't won.
Tony didn't. Nobody did.
It's been rough on me this year.
So I don't know. Stuff happened. There were games.
Stuff.
There were games. There they are.
Whoa, look at that guy. God, I only missed one this week. Yeah. And it was only because I went against my mind. Because I was like, I can't pick against Tarboro again.
Yeah, you did a little bit.
Because I was, I was roundly criticized for picking against them last week.
Yep. So you still won it though. You got a 5-1 week.
Yeah, but that's not good enough.
It's not terrible. So it's fine. Of course, if we go to me, we'll go to Tony Dowdy, who I believe also went 5-1. Yeah, he missed the Southern Nash Bedingfield game. So not a terrible miss there. But it is what it is. So, but he maintains it's still 11-1. I went 4-2 on the week. I believed a little too much in Tarboro and not enough in Rocky Mount. I'll try not to make that.
How dare you pick against the Capstone?
I don't know what I was thinking. I did get Bedingfield though, so that was nice.
Am I calling the right thing, by the way, when I call him the Capstone?
Sure.
I don't think I am.
And then let's go to Clint. And we'll make his Clint. By the way. Perfect this week.
He's a winner.
6-0. Look at that smile.
Just look at that mustache.
It is amazing. Amazing goatee there. And if we head to the final standings for the week, you will now see a little shift in the order. Tony Dowdy still top 11-1. Clint Williams earns himself a Take It to the House badge for the best week. 10-2. I am at 9-3. Wes Bradshaw.
I want that badge.
You'll get it. You get it one week.
I want that badge.
I'm sure.
Literally, I want to wear it around after I win it.
Maybe we can get Clint to print us one day.
Oh, Clint too. Dude, we should do that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
That'd be cool, dude.
That'd be cool beans.
All right, folks. That was the Crystal Clear Pepsi 6-pack results of the week. We will be back next week with 6 more games, 6 more picks. Still no Crystal Clear Pepsi because it's no longer in production.
No.
But anyway, big thanks to them. Folks, it is now time for the yet-to-be titled, or whatever you're calling it this week.
You know what it is. It's
the play of the week with no title.
So we're going to head out back to North Edgecombe for the play of the week, not by the winning team this week.
Not by the winning team. So I told Ed, I said, Ed, you don't have to win to have the play of the week.
No, you don't.
It just seems to kind of happen, but not this time, folks.
Not this time. So let's head back to North Edgecombe for the play of the week.
Down 14-0 with the ball right now. I think they need to score here before the half.
They will get the ball first, second half. Up the middle. First down. On his way toward the end zone. That is the quarterback, number 5, Jacoby Bullock. Put 6 on the board. Warrior fans, that's a North Edgecombe touchdown.
So they kind of need to score like that.
Bojack Horseman.
That is the uncurse of the commentator at Work West. Just a fantastic job by Jacoby Bullock. Right under center, immediately upon taking the handoff, busts through the line. Nobody to catch him. Great job out here by the young man.
All right, Bojack Horseman.
Do you watch Brickleberry?
Do you watch the league?
I pull for Celtic. All right.
Nobody gets these jokes.
Nobody gets it.
But you know what people do get now? Todd Gurley.
They get the fact that 3 years ago on this show, we said Todd Gurley was going to win Heisman.
Yeah.
And after week 1, Kirk Herbstreit agrees with us.
About time, Kirk.
John,
Concussions.
beautiful, blonde, blue-eyed, black eye.
Dez is like convulsing in there right now.
He's a very pretty man.
He's loving it. But let's do the Todd Gurley update. So let's just, you don't have to throw it up, just throw it up on the back here because it's such a wonderful, wonderful graphic. And it'll come up in just a second. Don't worry about it.
Yes,
there
it is.
There you go. Todd Gurley.
Our Todd Gurley update.
Yeah, it's hype. Want to get Todd Gurley's stats. Of course, a big 45-21 win at home against Clemson Tigers.
Go Dogs.
They lost that game last year, but they won it this year. And what did I text you, Wes Bradshaw, about Todd Gurley?
He's Todd Gurley. He's Todd Gurley. He scores what he wants.
He scores when he wants, sir. 15 carries, 198 yards, 3 touchdowns. And you might be saying, well, what else? What can he not do? Well, on the night, he had -5 receiving yards.
But he also had a 100-yard kickoff return.
5 yards deep in the end zone. He said, nah, I'm going to take it out.
That's right, because he's Todd Gurley. He scores when he wants.
He scores when he wants.
In doing so, last night Todd Gurley set the all-time single-game record for total offense in a game by a Georgia player.
He's really good.
His name was up there with the likes of a gentleman by the name of Herschel Walker, who is actually a registered deity in the state of Georgia.
293 yards of offense from one man.
From one man.
He
He's Todd
is
Gurley.
God.
He does what he wants. And another great week for Todd. And now the Dogs have earned themselves a week off because they won. If they hadn't won, they were going to get to play North Carolina Central this
I
week.
thought they would have played Kip Pride.
Oh, no. We don't need Gurley getting hurt playing the Kippers.
Yeah.
Those Kippers, those guys are tough. They will get a week off before they play another bumbling team from the state of South Carolina, the University of South Carolina.
Right.
So a chance just to make Georgia the most hated entity in the entire state, the entire Palmetto State, after 3 weeks of college football.
Fun times.
So that is your Todd Gurley update of the week. I'm excited about Todd Gurley.
I'm very excited.
Because I like to remind him every once in a while via Twitter, hey, don't forget, you said when you win the Heisman, you bring it on the All New Sports Show.
And he will. Or we will bring the All New Sports Show to you.
As long as I don't have to go to New York, I don't think I can pull that trip off.
Oh.
I'm going on a cruise.
Maybe we'll make the fun. We can maybe make the funds work.
I'm going on a boat.
You should buy a boat.
I'm going on a boat.
All right, what else we got tonight?
Barely afford gas to I'm just going to remind people.
Sure.
Because I don't think we've actually told them to start with.
So it's not really a reminder.
This is a reminder, Ed. This is an announcement.
Oh, we don't have our flags. I don't know why I just thought of that at this point.
No, they're too far away.
They're totally unrelated.
Ed, since you actually know what we're exactly going to do, why don't you announce to the people what we're going to do?
We're going to do 5 Wesleyan football games this year, and they'll be played right in this time slot. Maybe, depending on when you're listening to this, if you're like on the road and it's like Wednesday afternoon, no, we're not playing it in this time slot. We're playing it on Sunday night starting at 7 o'clock. So if you start watching at 8, you might have missed the first quarter. But it'll be on at 7.
That's right.
And
so
we won't be.
Well,
we will be, but we won't be.
5 Wesleyan football games this fall. So, folks, on the weeks that there is Wesleyan football, you will not have
home games.
Home games, of course. I don't do road games. Folks.
You don't travel well.
I don't travel well. I'm like John Madden, and we don't have any money.
We don't have a bus.
No, we don't have a bus. We barely have a bike.
We don't have a bike.
Oh, God, we don't have a bike. Now how are we going to get there?
What else do you want to say about this?
On the week of those 5 home games, folks, the All New Sports Show will not be airing.
Yes.
But
it'll be airing in a different location.
That's right. We're still talking about hopefully at least doing a web show that week.
Yeah. Or during halftime. We'll just do it.
Right. Or on the web where we can do a full show. We'll talk about this later, okay? Not while we're on the air.
Maybe.
I would say not while we're live, but we're not really live.
Daddy might need a night off a week.
Jack Horse. All right, folks. So remember, next Sunday night in this time slot, if you tune in for the All New Sports Show, you will get Wes and Ed, but it won't be the All New Sports Show.
We'll be wearing headsets.
Wesleyan football, and you probably won't see us because I refuse to have a camera pointing at me.
Okay.
Exactly.
That's fine.
It's on you, Clint Williams. All right. So once again, folks, this is the All New Sports Show brought to you each and every week, other than the 5.
Yeah, those 5. We'll be there.
Brought to you each and every week by Roger G. Taylor
and those 5, it'll still be it. It's just it'll have different content.
There you go. There you go. But folks, Ed, put us over one more time on the media that is
Absolutely. Twitter at All News Sports Show, Facebook.com/All News Sports Show, Instagram.com/All News Sports Show, YouTube. Man, those are the end graphics. YouTube. I recognize my own handiwork. YouTube.com/The All News Sports Show. Podbean.com, iTunes, or Stitcher Radio, or your podcast feed of choice for the All News Sports Show, the podcast. allnewsportshow@gmail.com. 1701 Sunset Avenue, Suite 201, Rocky Mount, North Carolina 27804 is our mailing address if you want to send your fan mail.
or live animals.
Your Twitter.
At Wes Bradshaw 21.
I'm at Edward Green, which you saw in the intro on the graphic. I think that's it. I think I just put us over on everything.
We did the Twitter, right?
Yeah, we did. I led off with the Twitter.
And the Facebook.
Yep.
It's all about the YouTube.
Yeah.
And the Instagram. And where they can send us stuff.
Yep.
I've got nothing else for you.
Awesome. And the podcast. I talked about the podcast too.
Oh, the podcast. The most fun that most people never have.
If you thought I was bitter during this 60 seconds of soccer, you should really listen to this week's podcast.
And if you think I'm borderline cursing here, just wait till I can really curse out loud.
Yeah.
We have one episode titled The One They Curse In a Lot.
That's not exactly what it's called, but it's basically it.
It's good enough.
That was the one we started with Stitcher.
Ah, yeah, and we got mad hits because they were like, oh, they swear a lot in this. That works for us.
They saw the explicit tag and they had to subscribe.
God love in America. All right, folks, so we will be back live September the 13th.
14th.
14th?
14th.
That's a lot of days in between.
It's 14.
Whatever. We'll be back on that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we'll be back September the 14th. I'm nothing if not prepared on this show.
Absolutely.
We'll be back September 14th live.
Maybe. Who knows?
Maybe for all of you people who tune in on
We'll be on YouTube either way.
Exactly. We're on YouTube either way. Folks, we are the Wayne's World of sports television.
Yep. That's how they know us in Charlotte now. And apparently England, because I'm pretty sure that dude was English.
England.
England?
That's right. We are the Wayne's World of Sports Television. We're the Wayne's World of Rocky Mount, Nash, Edgecombe, and Wilson counties.
Yes.
He's Ed Green. I'm Wes Bradshaw. For the single name Lee, for producer Des
Happy
McManus,
birthday, Lee. Good job.
we say good night here from the palatial studios at the power plant. Happy Labor Day, America.
Yes.
Enjoy sleeping in, drinking beer, and grilling.
Unless it's not Labor Day anymore when you're watching this.
Good point. I'm going to watch TV all day tomorrow. Good night, America. We'll see you next time on the All New Sports Show, brought to you by Roger G. Taylor and Associates on WHIG
TV.
War Pig.
Dominate. BoJack Horseman. So I says to BoJack. I says to him, he's great. What's up, Clint? Oh, God! Oh, God, no! What do you mean? How is this not a penalty? Ah!
The new place is perfect, or at least it will be, with a little help from Dex. In the book or at DexKnows.com. Dex can help you get results fast and deliver the best local advice so you can get it done right. Right here, right now.
We should do this more often.
Dex, results for the here and now.